Good day, everyone, on day 501 of the invasion. Poland has recently handed over about 10 Soviet-made Mi-24 attack helicopters to Ukraine in silence. The helicopters from Poland had not been publicly announced. In return, the country has reached an agreement with the USA to receive 8 Boeing AH-64E Apache attack helicopters sooner than previously expected. However, Ukraine's fleet is still small compared with Russia's air fleet, with less sophisticated targeting and defensive systems. Czechia also plans to deliver attack helicopters to Ukraine. Czech Prime Minister Petr Fiala tweeted on July 7 that his country would send Ukraine additional attack helicopters and hundreds of thousands rounds of large-caliber ammunition in the coming months. Czechia will also help Ukraine to train its pilots, including on F-16 fighter jets, said Fiala. The country will deliver flight simulators to enable Ukraine to conduct the training on its soil, not just in Western countries. The announcement comes a day after President Volodymyr Zelensky arrived in Prague to meet with Czech President Petr Pavel, PM Fiala, and other top officials. United States Defense Department has announced an additional security assistance package of up to $800 million for Ukraine. The capabilities in this package also include the cluster bombs. The United States has made the decision to send cluster munitions to Ukraine as part of its latest weapons aid package, citing the slow progress of Ukraine's counteroffensive as a primary factor, said Pentagon official Colin Kahl. Kahl told reporters that the urgency of the moment demanded it, but also said, "We want to make sure that the Ukrainians have sufficient artillery to keep them in the fight, in the context of the current counteroffensive, and because things are going a little slower than some had hoped." Sullivan stressed that Russia has been using cluster munitions with high dud or failure rates of between 30 and 40%. In this environment, Ukraine has been requesting cluster munitions in order to defend its own sovereign territory. He added that the cluster munitions that the U.S. would provide have dud rates of no more than 2.5%. According to the Pentagon statement, Ukrainian officials have provided the U.S. with written assurances that they will employ the capability responsibly and that they will not use the rounds in civilian-populated urban environments. Ukraine has also committed to mine-clearing efforts once the conflict ends to further minimize the potential impact of the rounds on civilians. A top Ukrainian defense official marked 500 days of war on Saturday by admitting responsibility for an attack last year that seriously damaged Russia's bridge to the occupied Crimea Peninsula. In a post on Telegram, Hanna Maliar, Ukraine's deputy defense minister, wrote that the Kerch Strait Bridge, which opened 4 years after Russia's illegal annexation of Crimea in 2014, was targeted to disrupt Moscow's supply lines. She noted that Saturday marks 273 days since the first strike on the bridge, which was carried out in order to break the logistics of the Russians. Ukrainian responsibility for the October 2022 attack has been an open secret. Last fall, the New York Times published an investigation, How Ukraine Blew Up a Key Russian Bridge, that detailed how Ukrainian operatives loaded a truck with explosives and blew it up as it was halfway across the bridge, killing 4 people and seriously damaging the structure in what Russian President Vladimir Putin termed a terrorist act. Although Ukrainian officials did not previously claim responsibility, they did hint at it. Everything illegal must be destroyed, everything stolen must be returned to Ukraine, everything occupied by Russia must be expelled, Mikhailo Podolyak, an advisor to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, wrote on Twitter last October. In addition to proving a humiliation for the Russian leadership, Putin himself attended the bridge's opening ceremony in 2018. The strike impeded Moscow's efforts to transport supplies to Crimea. Vehicle traffic was only fully restored in February. Prigozhin, the leader of the Wagner PMC, who is currently in Moscow, met with Putin in the Kremlin after the rebellion. Chief of the General Staff of the Russian Federation, Gerasimov made his first contact since Prigozhin's rebellion. A video of him was published today by the Russian Ministry of Defense. The Daily Mail got information that Gerasimov had been removed from his post and replaced by General Teplinsky, but this was not officially confirmed. This was the latest news for the moment. Thank you for watching, and we see you at the next update.